Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy. So our story continues with the crazed sight of the return of the Dark Prince, Vegeta. Now having re-tapped into the demonic powers residing within him, surpassing both Goku and future Trunks simultaneously. All because of the reveal of his father's brutal death. With King Vegeta's own blood now splattered all over his son. So Lord Lucif's faith was not misplaced after all. As watching on with extreme curiosity, Virgil, the second demonic royal guard, would look on as he would continue, the eye in the middle. Undoubtedly that is the power of a true devil. You take to Lord Lucif's power so impressively. It's no wonder why he had no interest in neither I nor Dante. But meanwhile Vegeta, just looking into his blood-dripping arm, would just marvel at his own self, thinking as he would pay no attention to Virgil, of all the things, that scheming demon Lucif really did leave some of his disgusting energy in me. Why couldn't that clown Vegito have taken all of it? I don't want this. Power like this, gained from someone else instead of my own hard work. It makes me sick. I made that choice once with Babidi, but this time, I wish I could reject it. As now lifting his palm into the air, his cold face would emanate a distinct disdain. Until he suddenly would close his fist with a smile, letting out, but I'd be lying if this didn't feel amazing. I am indestructible, unbeatable. I guess it's like that old earthling saying, when life gives you lemons, how strange you are, mortal. But it wouldn't just be the prince smiling, as laughing along with him, mysteriously, Virgil, now bringing his arms down from being folded, would be too, as he would add, you Saiyans truly are undercover demons, whether you like it or not. First Son Goku only moments after his son's death, and now here you are too, smiling only minutes after your own father's death being revealed to you. The anger and emotions you show in the moment, it's all for show, isn't it? Just for the purpose of transforming and gaining more power. How abhorrent. Before then finishing his observation and muting his expression, as he would say, "But regardless, you shall pose somewhat of a challenge now, I assume. I guess I should learn from Brother Dante's mistakes and start with 70 per..." But just as Virgil would attempt to go from 0 straight to 70% of his full power, suddenly his face would morph into one of pure shock, taken by surprise by a sight that would now meet him. How did? As soon we would see, meeting him head to head, closing the gap instantly. Vegeta with speed so fast, not even the royal guard could detect. The prince would find himself levitating right next to Virgil, staring him straight in the eyes, as the guard himself, just frozen still, would be wondering what kind of change Lucifer's power had brought to the Saiyan. But as Vegeta's cold stare would lean forward, he would now say in full view, "Listen here, demon. Don't confuse mine and Kakarot's smiles for not caring. Kill and take everything away from us all you want. But... As unpredictably, mid-sentence, the demonic Saiyan would shoot out like a bullet, a straight punch hard onto Virgil's face, crumpling inwards his supposedly near infallible mask instantly, as the guard would wince in sheer pain. Sent flying unceremoniously straight into a nearby snow mountain for humongous effect, being lost in the mist of cold vapor instantly. As Vegeta, now just standing with his fist out, would finally finish his sentence saying, "But one thing a Saiyan will never lose is his pride. The tears will come only after your blood is spilt, demon." Saiyan. As back with the guard, his body would almost now be crucified deep into the snow mountain, implanted frozen still, as from afar his black mask would seem to begin crumbling. How dare you! As unbelievably, finally, Vegeta had done the near impossible, revealing now half of Virgil's face, as half of his entire mask would be completely shattered. A lone humanoid-like face staring back with white hair, now with an expression of shock, mumbling until... Damn you! Finally, Virgil would collapse onto the ground by his hands and knees, his body trembling not from damage, but from pure rage and frustration, completely shell-shocked that as soon as he would arrive, his royal armor would be destroyed so easily. But as he would calm himself to get to his feet, with now a far less deep and more eloquent voice, with half a mask, he would remark, "Impressive. Impressive indeed. I suppose if those other two were able to crack Dante's armor, it's only right the so-called prince could do worse." But as he would begin grabbing the other half, continuing, "But you will learn today, dear prince. Some things are better left hidden. As he would then immediately throw the remaining half of the mask to the ground and... welcome to 100%! As now finally showcasing his full face on show, Virgil would stand and with a declaration of using his full power. His eyes white but burning with rage. Finally, the true strength of Lucif's own gods would come to play. As with a demonic roar screaming out, his face morphing simultaneously from its usual regal self to one befitting a demon, Virgil would unleash everything. His aura, a mixture of black and red, the darkness emanating would somehow even dim the lighting of the entire planet. Never before had a demon with such power been seen yet, in the mortal realm nor the demon realm. Emotion bringing out transformation? Seems you aren't too different to us, friend. But regardless, despite this, Vegeta's grin would only grow. As in excitement, he would lift his clenched fist, as if having been waiting for this moment this entire time, with his red seraphim eyes glowing in tandem until... As powering up now with a fiery explosion of aura himself, as black lightning and electricity would burst all over, Vegeta too would now break past all his previous limits and reach his maximum power level. The ultimate showdown of Vegeta versus Virgil was about to begin. Show me why Lucif cares for your lower species! Without a moment to waste, the bright white-haired god would already be up in arms, straight in front of the prince, with his left arm pulled all the way back. Damn insect! But unfortunately for him, just as Virgil would strike down, the demonic Vegeta's new speed would prove too much, vanishing instantly before any contact could be made. How could... But being left stunned once more, looking back, the unthinkable would be approaching him already, only mere moments after Vegeta's vanish. Sneaky savage! When the hell did you get there? But being no slouch himself, Virgil, with impressive reactions and acrobatics, would dodge immediately, allowing the beam to not even graze his side. You! But just as we would watch on impressed, right next to him, mid-flip, not giving him even a second to breathe, the prince would already reappear behind with his hands clenched behind his head. Die! As tensing his muscles and bulging them in size, the clenched fists behind would soon be revealed to be ready to hammer straight down on Virgil's still rotating body. Who do you think you're fighting, Vegeta? Just try and hurt me! But strangely, with a smirk on his face and bursting his eyes open, the demonic god would have other plans. As with a black portal opening instantly to his side, a number of similarly black tentacles would emerge straight out and grab the god. What the hell is going on here? Leaving Vegeta perplexed, as in a flash, they would even form around and completely coat the demonic twin. Coward! And ultimately, as Vegeta would slam both his arms down, they would only be met with a muted thud. As with as hard as Vegeta's attack would be, the mysterious now solidified protective ball around Virgil would seem near impenetrable. What's wrong, Saiyan? I thought you wanted to spill my blood! What? As in a disgusting sight, only moments later, the unbeatable spherical defense would pop out 100 eyes, displaying vision in every direction and seeing Vegeta's every move. Fine! Stay right there then! I'll blow you to the next dimension, clown! But not losing faith at all, the quick-thinking Vegeta would immediately retreat backwards, while simultaneously summoning 2 pure black balls of demonic energy, concentrated to the brim and ready to incinerate anything that stood in its way. Hold it right there! You think I can't see that? But now taking on a personality of its own, the strange-sounding creature would develop a mouth as it sprouts 2 tentacle-like arms. Blasting them forward with speed like a makeshift Bulbasaur until... What? Get off me! With extreme precision, the black vines would wrap themselves completely around Vegeta's arms, paralyzing them from moving any further and completing his attack. Or at least, that would be what it seemed they were doing until... In a brutal continuation, both vines would clamp their wraps inwards as if they were cutting through butter, slicing both of the demonic prince's arms instantaneously and at the same time for a bloody mess. That hurt! But if you think that'll stop me, you're in for a surprise, fool! Leaving Vegeta enraged as blood would simply pour and pour out of his now open wounds, the veins and arteries within working double time to empty his body. All while from within the confines of the giant black sphere, a laugh would be heard as a slit would begin to open, wider and wider as finally Virgil would make his appearance, coming out looking more like a dark silhouette of a demon. Need a hand, Vegeta? Or should I say an arm? As with a smirk, he would approach the now defenseless Vegeta without fear, all while the prince would mysteriously remain quiet, not uttering a word in response to Virgil's taunts. You seem very quiet today, Prince. Don't worry, I'm fully aware of your regeneration technique. No need to play weak for me. Go ahead and bring them back. I'll happily chop them right back off. Bring them back? Well, that can be arranged. But as Vegeta would now finally begin talking again, it wouldn't be without being accompanied by a big grin. From behind! Again! As being forced to turn his head around rapidly once more, the unthinkable would be coming from behind again. I told you there would be a surprise, clown! As coming straight for Virgil, Vegeta's severed hands would move on their own, still possessing the respective energy balls flying straight for the guard's blind spot. No! But ultimately, even with a final scream of panic from the once cold-faced royal guard, it would ultimately end in a violent explosion right before Vegeta's eyes. As giggling away at his own destructive power, to add insult to injury, his own arms would then begin regenerating back to normal. But soon enough following would be the angered grimace of Virgil, who now through the smoke would be seen to have lost even more of his armor now completely topless and looking more mortal than demon by the minute. But meanwhile, elsewhere on the battlefield, Godkiller Trunks and Dante would be engaged in their own life or death battle, as Trunks' first attempt at punching the twin brother would miss entirely. And so too would his next kick. Damn it! 70% has made him way too fast. As struggling away, gritting his teeth, Trunks would be at a loss for finding a way to make contact. His next punch being another testament to this too. Son Goku! But lucky for him, he wouldn't be the only Saiyan hot on the heels of Dante, as coming out of nowhere, Goku, with his dual red wings, would emerge to slam a fist right on Dante's face. Let's finish him, Goku! As following this up, not letting up even a second, both Godkillers would then fly forward, chasing after Dante's now careering body in the distance. Got you this time! As finally now landing a blow, Trunks would smash his fist straight under Dante's chin, sending blood and pieces of armor to burst out into his view. My turn! As Goku, not forgetting his own revenge, would then fly forward like a secondary sprinter, catching up as Dante would be sent away. Wait! As now reaching him, Son Goku with his teeth gritted and with pure anger on his countenance would strangely pull back both arms before... In a devastating show of power, he would launch both fists at the exact same time, smashing straight into Dante's chest. In turn, smashing the Royal Guard's back straight into the icy ground for a giant collision. The screams being heard all around from Dante's pain as his eyes and mouth would explode open from the intensity of the Saiyan's dual assault. Hold it right there, Dante! But with both Godkillers moving one after the other, Trunks would already be on top of the guard, his leg wildly swinging until... Like beating on a defenseless cripple, future Trunks would continue the beatdown, pulling his leg back across for a violent cross kick. With Dante's groans now getting weaker and weaker by the minute, his body would continue to fling in front of the two demon-powered Saiyans. But meanwhile, now smiling at each other in enjoyment of the battle, in tune with one another, Trunks would look to Goku and ask, "You thinking what I'm thinking, Goku?" As Goku reciprocating would respond, "You got it! Let's finish this, Trunks! Kamehame! Burning!" as instantly morphing their smiles into stares of complete seriousness as their red seraphims would glow in tandem. Goku would begin placing his hands together, instantly beginning the power-up of his legendary turtle wave, as Trunks would fling his arms in all directions at the speed of light, ready to unleash his most signature move. As just like that, the two would let loose, unleashing both of their energy blasts together, side by side, combining their powers to totally overwhelm and annihilate Dante. What? And overwhelmed he would be, as now facing him would be two giant blasts of energy, one an iconic blue, and the other a fiery orange. No, brother! And as his black mask would be lost in the light completely, all Dante could call out for would be his twin brother. A sorry end it would seem for one of Lucif's mightiest warriors. And with the combined power of both Goku and Trunks hitting him, you can believe the explosion that Dante would be caught in would be out of this world. Looking like a supernova in the sky, the snow around would instantly turn to rain. And in the end, a smoky, fiery mess would then just fall to the ground. But surprisingly, peering through, a humanoid face would appear. As it would seem, not even an attack like that would be enough to stop Dante. But as we would hear the groans of this white-haired figure, the last of his own black armored mask would fall from his face, scorched and shredded to pieces.
Enough! Enough of all of this!
You will all face a fate even worse than 100%! Brother, forgive me! As finally revealing himself, Dante's true appearance would be shown. As angry as Virgil at his armor's destruction, his final words, however, would suggest a reply of dangerous magnitudes was soon on its way. But even with Dante's threats, it wouldn't change the fact that Virgil too wouldn't be having the best time, currently getting smacked in the face by Vegeta's right fist before being struck again in the opposite direction by now the prince's left fist. Brother! Regardless though, Dante would suddenly call out for Virgil, not caring at all for the beatdown he was facing himself. And what? But in a total sudden and strange twist of fate, as if Virgil was a paid actor and the director had just yelled cut, instantly, Virgil would stop Vegeta's next punch with complete ease, and not an emotion on his face, as the prince would be left completely bewildered. And then turning his head to his brother, Virgil would yell, "What is it, younger brother? I thought I told you to let me enjoy this. You better have a good excuse, Dante." And all this while Vegeta would still just stand still, tightly gripped. My apologies, my older brother. As now with a devious look, keeping his eyes on Goku and Trunks as he would speak, Dante would say, "I know Lord Lucif intended for us to save this for his arrival, but I believe you too can sense he is close to finishing his business. I'm afraid I've had enough of these small fry. I believe it is time we triggered that and showed them where they truly stand. Huh? Trigger what? Elusive's business? Leaving Goku at first perplexed with the mysterious words of Dante, not knowing what he could possibly mean about anything, as Trunks, similarly, but thinking deeper, would react. Hold on, Goku. I don't know what this guy is saying, but there's something strange going on here. Don't you think these guys look a little too human-like to be Elusive's guards? What if there's another? I see, Dante. But before Trunks could finish that thought, Virgil, with his eyes closed and smirking, would begin. Normally I would put this down to your impatience, young brother. But I too can sense what you can. I believe Lord Elusive would have no issue at all with this. You have my permission. Before then letting go of the prince's fist, finally, leaving Vegeta to immediately jump back. A silence now in the air until... Devil Trigger! As suddenly, bursting open his eyes, revealing them to be black and red now, finally showing some semblance of their supposed demonic origin. Virgil, despite reaching a so-called 100%, would ready himself to go even further. Come, brother! As just like that, not only Virgil, but Dante too, completely emulating his brother, like joined at the hip, would burst into a ferocious roar and aura, their legs almost disappearing from just the sheer volume of energy being output, as with their bodies trembling and beginning to bulge in size, it would appear a transformation unlike any other was about to take place. And indeed, as Virgil's screams would become outright demonic, his entire appearance would now morph. First his face, turning completely unrecognizable, from his back wings now sprouting and surrounding him completely, a sphere of pure, impenetrable red energy that would paint the entire color palette of the planet. And of course, at the very same time, Dante would do the exact same, screaming with unfettered rage, his voice transitioning from regal to otherworldly, as he too first changes his face to a complete difference, wings then sprouting from him too, and finally, a surrounding of unmatched energy that completely encapsulates his still transforming body, as thunder and lightning would smash down, gatekeeping the whole affair. No way! I knew it, Goku! Leaving both Goku and Trunks struggling to stay grounded, covering themselves as they're forced to watch. While even Vegeta, in his powerful third eye form, though not being too fazed by the wind and pressure, would still be completely wide-eyed. And as their transformations would come to a close, a huge shining light would begin to blast in all directions, alarming each of the Saiyans, as it would almost look like they were about to detonate. But alas, it would be an explosion upwards into the sky rather than one outwards, as finally, Dante and Virgil would begin to show their final forms. The forms they always had as Lucy's personal guard. This power! These two! I didn't even expect Lucif to be this strong! Leaving Vegeta the first to see what they look like, and for him, in both appearance and what he would be sensing, it would be far more than what he had envisioned, even in his wildest nightmares. You poor fools. Has finally transformed. Two figures, two devils, not demons, would be seen. A complete change from their previous look. It would be hard to say these were even the same two opponents, as armor-clad to a higher degree than even Kazuya. These Lucif level threats would now emerge out of nowhere for the three Saiyans who were just about handling them previously. As with smoke bellowing out of his mouth with an insane killer intent and dark atmosphere exuding from him, Virgil would finally let out, "Poor or not, let us finish this now, brother. I sense the great merger of realms is about to begin." As in a shocking reveal, despite all of Goku, Trunks, Vegeta, and all of the Z-Fighters' efforts to save the multiverse, according to Virgil, the end of times, just like in Trunks' timeline, was still going to go ahead. How and why? Find out in the next exciting episode of Ultra Vegito. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag devils in the comments down below and let me know just what on earth the three Saiyans could possibly do now. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.